will to speak about airline transport and CO2 emission. So as you know, airline transport is perceived by the general public and even by our customers and maybe even by you as being one of the biggest contributors to climate change through CO2 emissions. In actual fact, it's not the case. The reality is that our contribution to anthropogenic CO2 emissions is about 2 or 3% of the global total emission worldwide. But we have to recognize as an industry that in the future, we will face a major challenge, which is to control our carbon growth. If we look to the last 20 years, the average growth of the airline industry has been around 4 to 5% per year. As an industry, we have been able to offset 50% of this growth in terms of CO2 emission. We have obviously this done through huge investments in fuel-efficient aircraft, in more efficient operations and infrastructure. If I come to Air France KLM, we have been able to offset 2/3 of this growth in terms of carbon emission. But looking to the future, we will have to break new grounds. First of this new ground will be technology. First of all, airlines must take an active part in all initiatives aimed at improving the fuel efficiency of aircraft by breakthrough technologies. And the current target is a further reduction of fuel consumption of 25% per passenger kilometer since 2020. Biofuels is another area we are exploring, not just any biofuels, but second generation biofuel. In other words, biofuels that are produced in environmentally sound conditions. Air France KLM is very active in this field. We signed a charter in favor of biofuels development with 9 other airlines, together with Boeing and Universal Oil Products. It's supported by a non-governmental organization, including WWF, and academic universities such as Yale. In terms of operations, another aspect is air traffic control. It's a very technical issue, but in Europe today, the air traffic control extends flight distance unnecessary by around 12%. And Air France KLM, like other carriers, is helping to launch the European Single Sky project, which will lead to the reorganization of air traffic and navigation procedures by 2012, and it's be part of our project to reduce our CO2 emission. We have also introduced internally operation measures, and we have a very dedicated staff to do so, especially pilot. And we know in a very large company as Air France KLM, with 100,000 people, it's very important to have dedicated staff in this matter if we want to be successful in this area. All this well and good, in fact, to work on technology, procedures, infrastructure, but it's not enough to ensure that the airline first will not increase its CO2 emissions in the future, and at the end of the day, be able to reduce these emissions. It's the reason why our chairman, Jean-Cyril Spinetta, was the first person in the airline industry to announce the support of an airline for including air transport in the European emissions trading scheme. Of course, it must be applied fairly and globally to every airlines and not lead to any distortion of competition, and that is a key topics. Air France and KLM are doing their utmost to ensure that global solutions are submitted through their Air Transport Association, as the AEA and the IATA, at the Copenhagen conference next December. To pave the way, we have set up a specific entity to prepare for Copenhagen, the Aviation Global Deal Group, which includes other major airlines and a specialized NGO. In conclusion, I would say that, firstly, obviously the airline industry has to find long-term solutions and not waste no time in finding them. Secondly, we must be aware that there is no easy or magic solution in this area. And thirdly, that this conference is a good place to help to reach a consensus with all the stakeholders on the initiatives to be taken. Thank you.